man? You?
Outstanding.
So, I mean, good practice?
You know, it was high energy practice. We've had a string of a few good practices in a row. What was today? Practice 5. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with how our guys have come out and the effort level at this point in camp. The retention from the previous spring. Really happy. Today, you know, we didn't execute very well. I felt like we took a step back. Maybe you know, putting on the pads for the first time might have been a contributing factor. But we'll come out tomorrow and get after it again.
Coach Jancic was saying when you guys can put both sides of the ball in some sudden change situations, it shows you a lot, both from a retention standpoint, just intensity and things like that. What are you seeing out of your guys from that standpoint?
What we've stressed with this team all along is the ability to handle adversity, which is why we include crowd noise during practice, which is why we include sudden change situations, and which is why we put them in frankly, just hard D&Ds and hard field positions. Today in particular, we didn't respond great. But again, it's good. It's a good opportunity to learn and get better from the experience. I have been happy up to this point in training camp, and we'll go into the film room and study it and get better.
When they don't perform the way that when they don't perform the way that you wanted them to today, you have to challenge them. Or are you seeing sort of the leadership from within?
We need our leaders to step up, and that's what we just addressed at the end of practice right now. We need our established veterans to lead the young guys. We have a lot of young guys on the field taking reps and teach them how to do it, provide that energy, be that source of energy that is infectious to their teammates.
How did the team respond to having a later practice today?
I think night practices are there's always a little more energy. Being under the lights, they've been off their feet all day. It's a change of scenery to a certain extent. So that's why I think it was a pretty high intensity practice. There was a lot of intensity, a lot of passion, you know, it's always a good change up. I'm looking forward to coming back tomorrow night and doing the same thing.
You've had a couple guys with Josh Smith and Marquez North who just worked their way into running with the one offense. What are you seeing early on from those guys?
Well, they're making plays, and I always say this game's not very hard. The guys that can make plays and do something with the ball in their hands and find their way onto the field, and both Josh and Marquez have done a good job of making those plays and have been pretty consistent in doing so.
Looks like Marlon Lane's worked his way up to, I think he's pretty much either running with the ones or exclusively with the twos, and he missed a little bit of time over the summer. What's kind of your assessment of him right now?
Marlon's done a good job. He's got a lot of talent, and he and Rajon are both battling and competing, and I'm happy with what they're bringing to the field every day.
From the parts of practice we can see, it looks like Justin gets in there usually first to go to the quarterback drills. Is that just a seniority thing, or is there something more to that?
No, that's about right. We've been shuffling it through the course of practice. Again, I don't know when you guys leave exactly, but through the course of practice, Nate takes his share of reps with the ones, and the freshmen are also getting more and more reps as we go along.
So absolutely no change with the two of the class.
No, we're in practice 5, and we have a long way to go.
How do you feel about the offensive line at this point in camp?
You know, again, they're the veteran group. They're the ones that we look to when we need that leadership. I like their mentality and what I need from them. And again, I addressed it today during practice. After practice, what I need from them is to step up and really be that source of energy and take that leadership role that we're looking for.
Are they making the transition easier for the quarterbacks and the running backs and just kind of everybody?
Sure, it helps. It helps to have a veteran group like that has a lot of game experience, that has some reps under their belt. And I think as a new quarterback, as new skill players, you always want veteran guys around you at all positions.
Have you seen any entitlement with that group? Because a lot of people call them the best in the league or whatever.
They work hard. Coach Jones makes sure that nobody has that sense of entitlement.
Was the sloppiness today, I guess, doesn't some of that start with the quarterbacks?
I wouldn't call it sloppiness. You know, how would I describe it? We just didn't handle adversity well. And sure, I always put it on the quarterbacks. You know, the quarterback is the leader of the offense. So, you know, it's always going to start with the quarterback. But again, it starts with us coaches making sure that they come out ready to practice and ready to play, and it filters down through all of them. So, again, I wouldn't say we took a step back today. We just didn't execute as well as it looked like.
It looked like yesterday in the team everything Wiley. I think Tino Thomas came up and got him. Was that just a freshman kind of seeing something the one there, or is
Sure,
that a-
game's moving a little fast for him and for Josh right now, but they are picking it up, and with more reps, the game will slow down.
So as long as generally every day is better than the one before for the most part, that's a good thing.
Exactly.
Is this offense coming along at the pace that you want them to?
Very much so. I am really happy with what we've been able to throw at them and what they've been able to absorb, and we haven't let up at all, and that's good. And to be honest, they really did a great job this summer of studying the game and working at it, and I'm really happy with the fact that we've been able to throw a lot at them, even some new things at them, and they haven't missed a beat.
Are you surprised that you haven't had to let up any?
I am a little bit, very much so. That typically at this point in practice, the pads go on for the first time today, and you take a step back and say maybe we're doing too much. But again, overall, they really have done a good job learning all the information.
Aside from the work that they put in this summer, what do you attribute them to, and why are they?
They're hungry. I think we have a hungry group of guys that high character guys that are do-right guys that want to succeed. So they've done everything we've asked of them and more, and that's key. They're hungry to succeed. They're hungry to win, and they know that just doesn't happen. You got to work to get that done.
How big is the experience that you guys have also installing this? I know you talked about it before, but now we're in fall camp. How big is the experience that you coaches have doing this before?
Meaning together?
Yeah, together.
It's that makes life a lot easier. We just can't anticipate what's going to happen, can't anticipate the problems that may arise, can't anticipate the questions that they may have. We have a very good staff chemistry. I have a lot of faith in the rest of the guys on the coaching staff, the rest of the guys on our offensive coaching staff, and we're happy with it.
How does the receiving core look right now compared to the end of the spring when they didn't have the true freshmen? You had a lot of bumps and bruises.
Again, I think we've created some competition at that position, which has elevated the play of all the guys at that position. So I am encouraged with the direction that they're heading and with where they are now compared to where they were in the spring.
The new guys, how they look so far, from what you've been able to see.
Yeah, Marquez North is out there making plays. Josh Smith has been doing a good job of making plays, catching balls. Both have done a really good job of doing more than what we asked. What I mean by that is, again, any receiver can go out and catch a ball that's thrown perfectly right at their face mask. Those two guys in particular have done a good job of making the difficult catch. And there's a little bit more margin of error for the quarterback and for me as a play caller, when you got guys that can make the difficult catch, or at the running back position, guys that can make a guy miss or break a tackle. Those two guys, and even Ryan Jenkins, have demonstrated an ability to do that. Jonathan Johnson has come in and he's an intelligent player who's picked up the offense quickly.
Ideally, how many receivers do you like to use in kind of a rotation?
When you're moving as fast as you can, you want to stay fresh. And so the guys that will contribute and make plays, they'll find the field. So, however many, let's put it this way, trust is a big factor when it comes to play calling. Can I trust them to be in the right spot and to make the play? And if you earn our trust, you'll find your way onto the field.
Josh, that's just a day-to-day thing, or?
Excuse me?
Josh, I saw, was in the hole today. Is that just a day-to-day
I'm not
thing?
sure.
Mike, I guess people term your guys' offense as a spread offense, but you guys have had 3,000-yard rushers in a row.
Right.
Yeah. How much pride do you take in having a very physical spread offense?
We told our team the first day we were here, and we told our offense the first day that we were here, that we are not a finesse offense. The foundation of this offense is toughness, is physicality, is conditioning. And we preach that on a daily basis, whether it's in our meetings, on the practice field. Coach Lawson does a phenomenal job in the weight room of setting up that mentality. And our guys know every day that they're coming on the field that there's an expectation level that goes along with the physical part of the game.
Has this offensive line with all the veterans on there, has it been hard for them to adjust to what you guys do because they've been in so many other offenses, or has it been kind of seamless because they're veterans, they understand?
Well, I think when you're exposed to different offenses, you learn conceptually. You can say, oh, this is like what I've done in the past. Or maybe this is the subtle change to what I've done in the past. So they've done a good job of of learning.
Have they been as physical as you guys have wanted them to? I know in the spring that was kind of a challenge.
We're two practices. The first 2 practices were just helmets. 3 practices in now with some sort of pads, whether shoulder pads or full pads. And again, the physicality and the effort level it has improved since the spring game. And as we've talked to them, it's just coming out with a mentality to play at a physical level, to make condition a factor, and to just push your body to the limit.
I know it's real early and depth charts don't really mean anything right now, but for Josh and Marquez to push for first team action this early, is that a message to everybody else? Hey, we weren't kidding when we said this is wide open. Anybody's got to.
I think we've sent the message all along that everybody has a clean slate. We hear what you say, we trust what you do, and to have those guys come in and compete has made everyone better, everyone in that room better, and so we'll continue. And I'm sure the other guys that have been here through the spring will continue to compete and improve.